welcome back to Carrville Creations with Dawn. I hope y'all all are having a great day. We are going to do a quick craft today. I call it a puzzle book. I don't know what other people call it. It was not my idea. I did see it online and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. You can do it with any kind of pictures. I actually chose a old vintage church picture to do this with. And what you're going to do is you're going to take 4 books, okay? You're going to take 4 books. You're going to paint them any color you want to. I did mine in a camel color. You're just going to paint those. You're going to paint the outside of them. I use soft covers. You can use hard covers. And then what I did is I painted the books. I took this picture, and then when I stood the books up like this, what you want to do is you're going to cut the picture to fit on the spines of these books. And then when you put them together, you're going to have I call it a puzzle book, but it's going to put this picture on books. And when you put them in your house, it's going to be really cute. Okay. So that is what we're going to do today. And with that being said, let's get started. All right, here we go. Here is the picture that I'm going to use as the puzzle piece for this book. And what I did is I took this picture and I cut it into 4 strips that are the same width, and you might have some that you need to cut off, and that's perfectly okay too. And I numbered my books 1 through 4 so I would know how I was going to lay them. And what I did is whenever I cut this picture, I labeled the puzzle pieces so that I knew which book I was going to put those on. All right, so let's start over right here. I painted every one of these books. You want to get books that are about the same size. I mean, you don't have to, but that's just me. I labeled the books 1, 2, 3, 4 from left to right like we read. And then I took this picture and I cut this picture into the width that I needed for this book. And then I cut the puzzle pieces and numbered them the same number as on the book. I hope this makes sense. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our Mod Podge. I got matte. You're going to need a paintbrush. And you can use ribbon or you can use this. And what we're going to do is we are going to Mod Podge each picture on the number that corresponds to the book. So what that means is for book 1, you're going to find your picture that you labeled number 1. That's it right here. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to put some Mod Podge right here. And now you can actually seal this entire book. I'm not going to. I'm not worried about it. I'm not selling it. It is for myself. And we're going to put that right there. And then you're going to lay this first piece of this picture. Well, let's make sure. Yeah, I labeled it. Okay. We're going to put the first piece of this picture right here on the binder of this book. Okay. All right. We're going to let these dry before I do that other, because if we don't, it may bubble up. So we're going to set this one to the side. The next one is your number 2 book. You're going to take your picture that you labeled number 2 and you're going to do the same thing right here. You're just going to put a light coat of Mod Podge. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you wanted to do it like this, I'm waiting on some stuff to come in. I don't have this one ordered yet. If you get a mini craft iron, what you can do is, like, I could have already had this Mod Podge on here that was dried. And then if you laid your picture down on the dried Mod Podge and run the iron over it, it reactivates the Mod Podge, and that way you know that you won't have any type of bubbles or anything. But that's okay. For this project, we're just going to do it just like this right here. We're going to go old school. All right, that is book number 2. Again, we're going to set this to the side and let it dry. All right, you've got book 3. Same thing. You're going to find your little number and 3, and then you're going to put it on this book. This book is just a tad bit thicker than the other ones, only because I didn't have a 4th one exactly like the other 3. The other 3 are just like, I think I paid like 10 cents a piece for them or something like that. Then you're going to put this picture on here just like we did the other ones. Okay. If you take some sandpaper, you can get those edges off really quick. I like rustic. Y'all are going to find out about me that I love vintage, rustic, anything old. All right, the fourth book. Here is the fourth picture. All right, we're going to do the same thing again. All right, same thing again. You're going to put this picture on here. Make sure we got the right end up. That's right. This is the top. And then you're going to do it just like this. All right, and then we're going to start over again. And what I mean by that is we're going to go back to the first one that we did, and I'm going to trim this excess off because it was a little bit big, and that's perfectly okay. You're just going to trim this off. Now, if you had some sandpaper, you can sandpaper it. I went ahead and used scissors because I know most people will use that if they're just trying to throw something together. There's your scissors. You're going to clip this right here. You got your first piece, okay? Second piece, we're going to go ahead and trim that up so that it's straight. There we go. Get that end trimmed off right here. Flip this over because this one was a lot more wider. This is your project. There is no right or wrong way to do this. The whole thing, like I said before, about crafting is to relax and enjoy yourself. This is your creation. So if you like it, that's all that matters. There is no right or wrong. Got that one cleared off. All right. Let's get this last one right here. We're going to trim this edge off of here. Same thing on the other side. All we're doing is trimming this to have the neat edges. That's all we're doing. And I want to tell you, though, it would be a lot easier if you had sandpaper. All right. So now what you want to do is you want to go over this outside part with some Mod Podge right here. That's just going to seal that on there, okay? Do you have to do this? You don't, but I would. It's going to seal that on there. And when it dries, it'll look like it belongs. All right. Same thing with these. You're going to seal this on here. Seal that. And I'll be honest, if it has bubbles, it is okay. Now, if you really truly wanted to, when it dries, you could also go around the edges and add some dark around the edges to make it look old. You don't have to. I probably will, to be honest, just because I like old vintage things. So, okay, let's set this over here out of the way. All right, so then let's get our books labeled since I've done messed the the direction they go up. Let me figure out which way they go. All right, so we know this is the edge over here. Where we at? That's this one, I do believe. I got them mixed up for some reason. I don't know why I did that. Hold on. I got to find the right. Okay, here we go. Don't do like me. Let's see, here we got this one, here we go. This is the order that they go in. All right, you see? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make me a little rustic looking, I'm going to wrap this around it. It's going to be rustic. I think I'm going to do it at the bottom because I don't want to cover up my pretty church. And I absolutely love old churches, anything old, obviously. All right, so we're going to go on the back right here. We're going to tie our first knot. And the only reason we're doing that is to get it started. And then you're just going to wrap this around over and over. Now you can make this as big or as thick as you want. And there we go. I think it's so cute. And you can add flowers on it, or you can leave it just like this. It just all depends on how you want it. All right, I really hope you enjoyed the craft. Here's what it looks like. Now, just some ideas of how you could decorate this. You could add buttons. You could add some flowers in here, ever how you want to do it. My house is so simple, and I love the old farmhouse look, so I'm going to set it on my shelf like this. You can find these pictures online. You can print them off. You can Google search. I mean, you can even use pictures of your family if you really, really wanted to. Um, just wanted to share this today. The goal is to show how simple things can be to put in your house. Anyway, I really appreciate y'all joining me. I know today's a short show, but it was just about sitting down, relaxing. Oh, and also, if anybody has a prayer request, you can email me at carrvillecreations@gmail.com. I'll be glad to pray for you. If you got any issues or anything like that, carrvillecreations@gmail.com. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you enjoy this craft. Bye.